Right, what we're going to make today, we have a load of metal on the floor. We have 40mm box, 4mm thick, which is like inch and a quarter, inch and a half, 40mm angle iron, same thing again, and 2-inch box, which is like what, 50mm. And we are going to make a stand for me 2x72-inch grinder. And as always, I could make this simple, but what's the point? That's just boring. All that steel you see there, it's missing 4 little plates, was €100. The wheels that I'm getting was another 70. So already we're at 170, and I still need more bits. That's just in materials. Yes, you'll be able to buy one cheaper, but it's not going to be as good. And this is where we made this awesome machine for my Fronius Transsteel 2200. Holds 2 bottles of gas. It's all been twisted and welded and all sorts of stuff. I've done a complete video series on this. Loads of storage, loads of places to hang everything. All these is where the lamps can go in, depending if you're laying on the floor or up high and what side you're on and all sorts. Anyway, so yeah, just like to make things slightly different.
I really apologise about the shaky camera. I didn't know it was happening at the time until after I've edited it, and I've recorded a few things on it. It was a stupidly expensive Sony piece of shit of a camera, so I do apologise about it. Hopefully you can get over it. Believe me, the video, you should enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff in it and the end product is unbelievable. So it won't be happening again after my next project because I'm not using a piece of shit anymore. But please stay with it, and I apologise again.
Hello and welcome to another budget and Lego video. So we're going to make this box, and I've got this weird thing, speaking to a few people, not everyone has it but some people do, where I don't write anything down. When I want to make something, I just kind of instantly see it in my head and it like projects in front of me and I can see it in like a 3D image. I can just do that instantly. I've always been able to do it. And I know what I want to do on here, so I had an idea, still got an idea I'm going to go with, and then like everything, you go online, you look at a few more, and the idea you thought you'd fucking come up with, some bastard's already done it. And I'm like, it's typical. I came up with this like X pattern with this box in the middle and stuff like that, and someone's already fucking done it or done something very similar. I'm still going to do it because it's my idea. I didn't know his yet. Anyway, look, he copied me even though I haven't made it first. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out the height first. I'm going to do all this off camera, so how high I want this, and yeah, then we're going to just realised I forgot to get something, and I can't make this properly until I get it. I'm going to get like a bucket, metal bucket or a big metal bin, and have it underneath catching all the sparks, and I'm going to build that into the table. But now of course I can't because I haven't got it, but I can still build the top. But I've got to figure out where I want all this placement, and I was thinking out a few things. Do I make this smaller just to house the actual sander, and then do I put this on an arm, like an adjustable arm, like my DRO on my milling machine? But then I was thinking it might vibrate too much, and I think it will, and apparently these things are quite, you know, they're quite delicate. But you don't want them in getting covered in sparks either. So I'm going to make it actually bigger, so then it will become a table for anything. If I ever, you know, redesign the table again, I'll have this table for something else. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to basically do it 610 by 820, which is roughly 2 foot by, is it 32 inches, 33 inches, something in and around there. That will then allow me to set the controller slightly further back like that, out the way of all the sparks. I can still kind of press it then and do everything I need to do. This table then turns this way. Ah yeah, see, that's the thing. When that table turns down, which way is the sparks going to go? It's going to go in the direction that goes this way, so the spark's going to go that way. Shit. So is it best to put it on that side? Well, actually, that doesn't matter because I can always move that. I can decide that later. You know, whether I put this on that side or that on that side, the table's still going to be the same length. So that's not a problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do it off camera. I'm going to cut my angle iron to size, because what I'm also going to do is I've got some old scaffolding planks, because I'm used wood for vibration purposes, and I'm going to kind of use that for the top. So the idea of it is it's going to sit inside the frame there, and then I'm going to build everything off that. So let me do that off camera, and then yeah, we'll figure out after that. Right, start again, voice crack. I've never seen anyone do this. That's my cross cut, and I've put it on, you know, the kind of joinery cross cut table. That's not for that, I made it fit, but I haven't seen anyone else doing that, and I don't understand, because it's bloody brilliant. But if there's a reason, please tell me. But I think my saw's dying, unfortunately. It seems to be getting quite weak. Could be dodgy connection, but I doubt it. This was second hand when I got it, and obviously it was well used. I've well used it, but anyway, I think it's dying, unfortunately. Right, we've more or less got our top done. A little bit bigger than I thought. Obviously this bit goes to the end, but I don't have enough room. Slightly shorter now than 2 foot, and that's not because I cut the wrong 45 degree in it. It's because, you know, I just want to make it a little bit smaller. That's the only reason. Sounds a good reason to me. So 33 inches by 2 foot-ish. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the wood, because what I got to work out, the wood's just going to sit there. I'm not going to screw the wood inside here, even though I could. I still might yet, but what I'm thinking of is putting some straps across it, and then using these bolts holes here to screw through the wood and through the straps. So I will secure the wood and the machine through, you know, some flat plate bar that's going across there. That's what I'm thinking. But like I said, I don't draw anything down, so everything in my head, it can evolve, and it often does. Just because I see something in my head, it often evolves as I go along, because I realise, you know, that's not going to work, or I want to make it slightly different. So let me get the wood, and then once I get that in, I'm going to stitch it, just put a couple of tacks on it, just so I can kind of see, and then we're going to work out the hole placements, and then we'll go from there. Is it just me, or is everything I ever make, I always need the tool that I'm making something for, I need to use it? Like, this would be so handy now to be able to, you know, deburr all these edges and just... Anyway, and I'm still working on the floor, because I've got a servicing table, but I don't have a welding table, and I don't particularly really want to weld in there, because that's just gonna, I don't mind doing stuff on there, but that's just gonna destroy that wood really quickly. So what I'm doing is I'm on the floor, and I'm going to weld this on the floor with 3 points of contact, which is a flat plane, people. So there you go. Just going to tack this, the point we're filming it, just tack each corner, get it enough so I can then cut this up, and this is going to be my base. Oh, my top, sorry, not my base, the actual top of it. So once I've got all that tacked up, we will continue. I have to keep talking about this awesome Fronius. Come on, come on, focus. Focus. Transsteel 2200, it's focused. Because, like, this makes me look good at welding. But I'm going to be now welding 4mm, right? And without having to change anything, like all the settings, and all I do is do. Boom, 4mm, there we go, sorted, done. You want to go to 2mm? There we go, 2.3, 2.5, whatever you want, it just does everything for you. Synergy mode. Hey, oh, I love this welder, I really do. Right, there is our basic top. Now what I like to do is, and it depends on what I'm building to how I like to cut my 45s. With something like this that I want a little bit of strength into, I tend to slightly open the joints. So you can see, there we go, So I can really, I know you can angle these and get a weld in, but I just like to do it that way. And the other reason I like to do that way, if you do need to tweak it a little bit, you've got the room. And if it's really, really tight, I'll actually get a grinder and I'll cut the hole, because I just like to get the weld in there, because especially if you want to grind it off to make it look nice, it's nice and smooth and the weld is still there. You're not, when the joint is too tight and you grind all the weld off, you're grinding all the weld off. But it just depends what I'm making. If I'm making something super precise, I'll make sure I'll make the joints a lot closer and I'll dovetail them and I'll weld them in that way, or angle them. Right, so now what we got to do is cut the fucking camera. Cut the wood. Right, I'm well happy with me top. So out of an old scaffolding plank with literally this little saw, which I had to cut from both sides because it was too small, the plank was too thick. Look what I did. Focus. Now I know that's not perfectly flat, it doesn't really matter. The wheels that I'm putting on are going to be completely adjustable and I can always pack that out slightly, but there's also a lot of adjustment on this. You can actually adjust all the plates on it and everything, so it's not vitally important. The reason why I went for a wooden top is I just thought it helped with vibrations, so it doesn't, you know, if I was going to put a metal top on it, it'll just vibrate through the whole system, where I'm hoping the wood will kind of stop the vibration. That's what I'm hoping, but I don't know. I've kind of put a bit of an overbite over it, so I wanted to make it a little bit smaller, so if it swells or does anything, it's not going to push up and break anything. And when you kind of look down, it looks nice and flat because there's a bit of an overbite to it, like a recessed cut. It's like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is work out where the bolt holes are, and that's when I'm going to put my strips across, and then work out, I'll drill them in, then I'm going to weld everything up properly. Okay, I've got my placement. It's more forward so I can catch all the sparks, and the motor then is still on the actual weight of the machine. Obviously it's to of the weight of the trolley, obviously it's to one side, and then the controller will go here and hopefully won't vibrate. I know what maybe some people are thinking, are you taking the piss catching the sparks? You know, it's not, but I'm actually not, and you'll see, for example, look at that. That was just from cutting them few little bits. So it's amazing. Now you still get loads everywhere. Keeps autofocusing slow. You keep getting loads of everywhere, but at least you capture the main thing. It's just, it makes cleaning up a little bit easier and it stops everything going everywhere. So I might have to custom make something, or I might be able to buy something. I'm not 100% sure yet. I forgot to go to the shops to see, but I might be able to buy something and then customize that. I've drilled some pilot holes, so what I'm going to do now is take this off, drill all the way through, make sure I don't drill through here, and then I'm going to get some plate. 5mm plate should do, and then I can put that to exactly where them bolt holes go, and that will also strengthen that up. And yeah, that means when I bolt the machine down, it'll be bolted through the wood and through on the plate, which will sandwich everything, but also the wood will act as a shock absorber. That's what I'm hoping, but we'll see. Okay, I've managed to get some pieces that will fit. They are different, they're all the same thickness but different width, but that's all I've got, so I'm just using what I've got, because otherwise this is just going to get out of hand. It's already, I'm going to be in, I'd say in rough materials, I'm going to be in maybe €250. So if I can use what I've got, that just saves a few quid. So I'm just going to cut them, weld them in, drill the holes. There's 2 holes in this one, 2 holes in that one. There's going to be nothing in that one unless I, well, maybe depending on where the controller goes. I'm not worried about the controller doesn't need any plates behind it in that sense, but actually does it? No, I don't think it does. I can always add them in, but that's nice spacing to, you know, give everything straight. I would like that not to be so close, but I've just put the holes that close. So I'm going to cut them, weld them all in, finish welding the box that I've made, drill the holes, and then at least the top is done, we can work out the bottom, where the legs go and all that afterwards. Right, making this is a complete waste of time because the box that it's sitting on is the perfect height for it. This inside here is an English wheel and a plenishing hammer. I haven't even opened it yet, but anyway, I just wanted to get an idea of the height, and that's absolutely perfect. But what I want to do is I want to put, like, imagine an X, and in the middle of the X is going to be a box, but where the pipes meet where the X would be, the box is going to be hollow, so it's just going to be, you know, a box with 4 legs coming off the corners. And the reason why I went for that design is because what I want to do, see all these, there's all different tables that go onto this, and I wanted to hang them in the corner because I wanted to, you know, when you build something like this, you might as well use it for storage as well, and all the parts that come with the machine, if you can store them all together, it's just easier. And I thought it'd be a really good idea to hang them in all the corners and maybe in the middle, because I've got a few of them. And I was like, well, if I just put a leg straight down, I can't do that. Then I had a great idea for the box in the middle, and that's why I had the idea of this X thing in my head. And then I saw it on the internet and I was like, that's just fucking typical. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've just got to work out now how big the box is, because I want it as big as possible, but also I want the legs to be there. And I've also got to remember the wheels, because the wheels are quite high. I've got special wheels to go on this, special adjustable wheels that I'm using on everything, and they're brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to have to come back tomorrow because I haven't got all the other bits I need. I don't think the wheels are going to arrive either. I can still maybe do a bit of working out tomorrow. Because I don't draw it all down, I'm kind of designing it, even though I know what in my head, I'm kind of doing it as I go. That's what takes longer. But also writing it all down, designing it, putting all the measurement, that takes hours too. So I just kind of do that all together. Okay, we've got more stuff. So I've got a metal bin. That was €30. I got some more steel. That was €42. I also got me plates that I ordered. I think they've charged me again for them, but anyway. And I got a load of nuts and bolts. That was €36. Plus with the 170, so that's 278-ish, 280 odd euros, something like that so far. Obviously that's not including time, effort, welding gas, welding, you know, and all that sort of stuff. But it's not about that. It's about making something yourself and, you know, getting there. So what I did before I left the other day is I've cut out my boxes. So what I've done is, this is why personally I wanted it on the same height so I can work out, because basically what I did was, I know I want to build a box. Hang on. I'm just a visual person, so what I did, I got loads of boxes, and this is a toolbox, or just a box, I can't remember what it holds, but anyway, I put it up there and thought, yeah, that's a nice size. And visually I like the size of the box. Happened to be 10 inches by 13 inches. So I'm going to weld all them together, then I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. I'll do all that off camera, there's no point watching all that. And then yeah, wheels are coming tomorrow for this thing. So hopefully by tomorrow it should all be done. Right, this is me plan. The 2 pieces of metal on the floor are the height of the wheels. So just imagine that's where the wheels are. That box is going to be, it's going to be more, well, it will be in the middle. It's more or less there now. And what I plan to do is have angle pieces coming from the corner of the box to the corner of the actual top. And the reason because of that is I wanted to hang straight down all the attachments. That's why I wanted kind of the, you know, if I put a piece of metal all the way down, I wouldn't be able to have that. And then on the bottom corners have pieces of metal coming down at an angle, which then go onto the wheels. I'm going to do something really cool inside that on both sides. I'm going to make that out of a gearbox and a few engine pieces, so stay tuned for that. I might do a separate video on that, but I'm just trying to get my angles right now. But essentially that's what it's going to be like. Hopefully now you see me vision. Do you see it? Most probably not, but hopefully we'll see it soon together. Right, hopefully you can see me plan coming together. I made the box in the middle out of thicker material, so it kind of has like a 3D effect. I didn't make it all the same thickness. I did that because I just thought it'd look a little bit better. Yeah, I'm just eyeballing all these angles. I originally cut a 45 because I don't have a set square properly, like an adjustable one. I did a 45 at first, angled it, realised it didn't fit, cut a bit off the 45, then set me chop saw at some sort of weird angle, don't know what it is, but it don't matter. And now I've got me little duck mouse in so I can weld in and around there. It's just 2 more legs to come out the bottom, and I think, and then they're saying that to that side, and I think we're golden. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut all me funny angles before I set my chop saw any different. So I'm going to cut another focus. I'm going to cut all the funny angles first, and before I lose it on my saw. But you can see, hopefully now, what it's going to be. And as you can see now, I've got all the room here to hang them. Well, I say I do, I hope I do. That was the original idea, to do that. But we'll see. What's up? Oh, what's that?
It's a knight.
It's a red knight.
Yeah.
Like the Red Baron.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, he's a German guy.
Was
World
he nice?
War One ace.
Does he sound? Is he nice?
Well, he shot down a lot of people.
Well, then he's not nice, then, is he?
But then other people shot down a lot of people too.
Well, then they're not nice, are they?
Oh, anyway. So yeah, let me just cut all this, and should be golden. Right, we are back. First off, I got me wheels. Where's my wheels? Got me wheels. These come with no bolts. The other wheels came with nuts and bolts, but these didn't. Anyway, so went off. Yeah, I brought loads. Is it just me? I only needed like 16, but I can't just go in and buy the amount of bolts I need. I always have to get loads more. Another 19 euros there, so we're close to 300 euros now. I got a gearbox, have had this for a while. It's a fuck gearbox. Lucky enough that didn't cost me anything. And what I'm going to do with that gearbox, I think it's out of Passat, if I remember, Volkswagen, can't remember exactly, but it don't matter, is I'm going to make the letters, hopefully, just out of this, and I've got some timing chains and some gears and stuff. So the idea is, on one side, to put B and L, and then to that side, to put G. So in other words, Bodget and Leggett Garage. That's the idea. I'm going to have to strip this gearbox, not going to bore you with it. Zipping off a load of bolts, getting all the gears, bearings, whatever I can get out of there. And then I've got to work out spacing. I've done this box slightly different. I wish I did the other box the same. I personally, this is just me, especially when you get a nice weld that's more or less uniform, like that, I like to keep that in, and because I don't want this to look too perfect. I want it to kind of look, you know, more agricultural and kind of that kind of stuff. So you're going to see this line of weld here, where the other one I've completely made it flat, and it just looks a bit too clean and clinical for me. You can see, look, I've just, yeah, so on the other side I'm just going to do it slightly different. I'm going to leave the welds there. I just think it makes it look that little bit more kind of, you know, homemade type thing, rather than kind of, you know, I just prefer it, but each to their own. I'm even leaving the welds along the side like that because they're nice clean welds, you know. Anyway, I've got to now work out spacing, and do I leave the letters floating and just put some little tabs on it? Actually, I'll make it look like an Airfix thing. You know how you get the Airfix models and you have to kind of snap them out, you have these little plastic tabs? Well, I'm going to actually make it look like that. Yeah, that's a great idea. So I weld metal tabs in and make it almost look like it's a you know, an Airfix model. You have to kind of snap the bits out. Fucking genius. So it's going to literally take me hours to do all this, so that's why I'm not going to bore you filming it all. Right, I think I'm getting somewhere. So we've made it a bit out of a Volkswagen gearbox, a bit out of a BMW timing chain, and a bit out of a Nissan timing chain. Unfortunately, most of the cogs inside there were just too big, and I made the decision to make the box before I even worked out the sizes of cogs or anything. So yeah, but I think it's worked out pretty good. So are you ready? Now what I'm tempted of doing is I'm gonna put some I'm gonna put a backing behind this, a wood backing with some LED lights on both sides. So, and I'm gonna paint all the letters a different colour to the actual frame, so it should pop a lot more. But you ready? There we go. What do you think? So what I'm also going to do, like I said, is figure something out, so when something quite thin, so little pins to stick up there and keep it floating in the middle, so it looks like kind of Airfix models where you can kind of snap it off. But basically that is kind of it. I think it looks good, but let me know down in the comments. Gotta make a fucking G now. I forgot to turn the camera on. I've just been really going for it, and anyway, it's taken hours just to do one side, but I've more or less completed one side. But before I show you it, I just want to show you this. So, spirit bubble. Oh guys, dead nuts in the middle. Right, ready? Put it to the top. Don't want to show you the thing yet. And look at that. Oh guys, fucking love it. Boom! Lovely. Right, I cannot remember if I've showed this yet or not. So I've done one side, like I said, I'm thinking of putting a box in behind this and putting LED lights in it. I haven't decided that yet, but basically one side is done. You ready? Boom! There we go, B&L. And I've put the little tabs on, so I've even put them so they're not straight, because when you look at the Airfix, they're never like normally in a line. I'm going to get a sticker made at the bottom saying twist to remove, because I think that's what used to say on the Airfix models. I've got the wheels on, so got all my angles and everything perfect. She lives on the floor perfectly, and like I said, these are all really weird angles. So just one more side to do. That should hopefully won't take as long, because it's only one letter, it's only a G, so there'll be Bodgett and Leggett Garage. I might do these uprights a slightly different way, because I've done the other square panel a different way with the way I've grinded the welds. What I mean by that is, I haven't decided yet. Still got all that fucking mess on the floor. So here's what I'm thinking, right? Again, just thinking. So I might put this on there like that, rather than cutting it into the corner. Just put it on the edges like that, and then have both sides of the box. They'll still be the same height obviously, but both sides of the box will be different. Kind of, I think that might be good, having it kind of, you know, different. I don't know yet, because you're not going to be able to see both sides at once anyway, so it's not as if it's going to look weird. That's what I'm thinking, and I think I might do that, because it'll also be a hell of a lot quicker to do that as well. That to cut all them stuff, it's a lot more angles, it's a lot more work. Don't know yet though, I haven't decided. That's for another day. Right, we are going to leave that for part one. You can see I've made the second one. You see that in part two. A few things that I should have done slightly different, but just being lazy and just trying to kind of get this done. I wish I kind of tigged all them. My welder is a TIG. This is, as you can see, we have the TIG. Did the TIG torch? No, we have the TIG torch. It is a TIG, and I've got the full. Oh, gas. I've got the full argon gas there as well. So, but I want to get the other Fronius welder, the AC/DC one, one with the water cooling for TIG. Then I can kind of do it that way. You just got a lot more control. Focus. You've got a lot more control when you TIG, especially when you're just doing little bits. Doesn't matter for this, but I should have done it, but anyway. Right, you've seen that one, all done. Oh, you know, fucking metal. I've done the other side, done it slightly different, and before I tell you what it is, there's one I'm going to, obviously you should know, and another one you're going to have to guess. Anyway, I've decided this side, I didn't use the pins, I've used stuff that's come from the gearbox. So this section here is part of the Volkswagen gearbox, is part of the gear selector. This gear here I cut off a Nissan, so this is a Nissan Qashqai bottom gear, and this is part of the gear box here, this joint. Obviously you can see that's a G, hopefully, but this, what do you think this is? This also turns, look, I made it so it's like a fidget spinner, but can you guess what it's supposed to be?
About the shaky camera, I didn't know it was happening at the time until after I've edited it, and I've recorded a few things on it. It was a stupidly expensive Sony piece of shit of a camera, so I do apologize about it. Hopefully you can get over it. Believe me, the video, you should enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff in it and the end product is unbelievable. So it won't be happening again after my next project because I'm not using the piece of shit anymore, but please stay with it, and I apologize again.
Hello and welcome to another budget and Lego video. What we are going to do today is the far side. We're going to get this completely done, get our shelves in, get all our stuff hung for all our separate arms for the welder and for all our sanding belts and stuff. I've got a few ideas. Like I said, I want to keep all this contained, so I've got all my sanding belts, all my connections, all my arms, everything in one place. It just makes life a hell of a lot easier. So, yeah, this is what I made. Now, let's just get this behind here because you can't really see it. That's maybe made it worse. 1 second. Right, so we've got a BMW timing chain gear. We've got, that's from a Nissan. No, that's actually from a BMW. This is from a Nissan. This is from Volkswagen gearbox. That's from a Volkswagen gearbox. And yeah, and that's from a Volkswagen gearbox. So, the way I've done this is we've got the G, obviously. Now, before I tell you what this is, it'll make it obvious when I paint it. But I want you to tell me, what do you think that is? Kind of looks like what it is, but I've done a little bit of a design on it just to kind of, you know, because I wanted still to keep the gears on it. But this, look, actually spins around. So this was part of the gear selector, and it had these things in already, so I thought I might as well use it and let it spin around. Right, what I'm going to do is not going to film this, just going to put the 4 legs on it. The reason why I can't really film a lot, like all the cuttings and all the weldings and stuff, because I'm literally doing it on the floor, right? And I can't get the camera there. It's very awkward. I'm over the work. It's just, I need to get organised a lot more. I need to get welding benches. I need to get proper, I just need to sort everything out before I can start filming, you know, a lot more. That's why, hence I'm making all this stuff to allow me to kind of do that. So yeah, just let me get these other legs in. I'm still undecided what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to do a beak's mouth in there again or just put it flush. I'm not 100% sure yet. It will still have the same design, but because I've done both sides kind of differently, I've sanded all the welds off there, I've left the welds on there. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I still haven't decided, but you'll see in a few seconds for you. God knows how many hours for me. Right, I've got a decision to make. So I'm thinking completely redesign this. Having these 2 little legs coming down like that, and then coming down in the middle. Or having long legs coming down straight down. What do you think? Let me know. Even though by the time you tell me in the comments it's too late because I've already made it, but let me know. Obviously, I'm joking, people. Of course I'm going to do this. These are just alignment marks. I've welded them in so I know it's the same height, and this is just to check my measurements to make sure everything is kind of level. Even though you can't see both sides at once, but what I'm more concerned about is not exactly that this is in the middle compared to the other one, which it will be, but it's more, you know, I don't want like the top to be like this because one side's a lot higher than the other. So yeah, this way, having everything aligned should be fine. It just makes my life easier. It's always easier doing the first side because you're not lining it up against anything. When you're lining up against something, and when you're making two boxes or making two of anything, it's very difficult, even with the right equipment, to make something exactly the same. It's always slightly off. And then when you weld it, it twists and all that, so it, you know, it all has its issues. But hopefully we should be good to go. Weld this in, square it up, do the bottom. Right, you can see we're all tacked in. Nothing is welded because it's always good just to tack everything in, and then you can kind of move it and twist it if you need to. So where I could have, it depends what you're doing to what finish you want and stuff like that. So in other words, if you want to completely grind everything off, you do not want a really tight focus. Come on. You don't want a tight gap like that, because when you grind your weld off, there's going to be hardly any weld there. You want to grind your weld off, you want kind of, well, there's a couple ways of doing it. You either chamfer everything, or you can leave, I guess, a bigger gap like that. So when you put the weld in and it really gets in there, you can grind it off nice and flush. I just wanted to show you the two kind of different, well, there's loads of ways of doing it, but I'm not grinding these welds off, so I'm not really bothered. I don't want to. I want to kind of make it look more, you know, homemadey, Mad Maxy type thing, rather than kind of perfect. So I'm not going to grind off the weld. So they're the kind of the options you have, depending on what kind of finish you're going for. I did start grinding off the welds, and then I thought, no, do you know what, it looks too polished, and I don't like that look personally, but each to their own. And I suppose also depends what you're doing. You know, if you're making some sort of custom piece furniture that you want to make it look like it's all one piece, then yeah, I understand that. But for what this is, I want to kind of make it look a lot more agricultural and, you know, homemade type thing, more so than anything else. So I'm going to weld all this up now. You wouldn't believe, it's just so many. I had to make sure that's level, this is level, this way, that way. I have to make sure that's level, because like I said, the last thing I want to do, these feet are adjustable, don't get me wrong. The wheels that I'm putting on are fully adjustable, but you still don't want the thing sitting like this when it's on its wheels. So yeah. Right, moment of truth. So I've got all this welded all the way up and down there, just doing the legs. So I've just set it back down on the same 4-inch box that I put it down on the other side, because that's the height of the wheels. I've put that plate in there. So does this plate slide in nice and easy? Does it lift it? Does it put it down? What does it do? This is, oh, look at that, like butter. Oh, I like that. So that's maybe a good sign. Let's have a look at if we're level. Oh, would you look at that? Focus, you git. Ah, yeah. There we go. But like I said, these wheels are, focus, these wheels are completely adjustable. So and to get it dead nuts level with all this welding is practically next to impossible anyway, you know, just, and the floor's not level, so there's all that. But I mean, considering 4 points of contact there, and that level was practically bang in the middle, I'm well happy with that. The rest that I can definitely, if it is really bad, I can use to adjust my use my wheels for adjustment. But again, with this sander, it's not really that important. The only reason I'm going to put them wheels down is because these wheels don't have any locks on them. So when you slide them pads down, that's the actual lock, if you get me. They don't have like a clip on them. But the pad that comes down is the lock. So weld these wheels on. Then we've got to figure out our storage situation. So sandpaper storage, I've got an idea for that. Unfortunately, we're not high enough. So 72 inches long. This isn't 72 inches high, so I can't focus. I can't just have it hanging down like I was hoping to. But I've got an idea for that. Some decoration, and I'm going to use all the cogs and gears for that. I'm also going to try and use the gears to actually hang all the extra pieces, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I've got it in my head, that idea, but again, I don't know. Just like originally I had in my head to mill out, I don't know if I said this, but essentially to leave that cog completely round and mill out this shape, but this is hardened steel and I don't have the right bits for my mill, so couldn't do that, so plans slightly changed. So like everything, oh, I've got to knock off that little bit of nub there that I use for alignment. So yeah, look, plans change as regards that, but yeah, bang these wheels on, weld them up, and storage. Generally, first time this is going to be on all four wheels. Oh yeah. Oh. What do you think? Oh, yeah.
I think it looked good.
That's nice and solid. Wonder what it's leveled them with a diggy like. Even though it's on a different part now. Oh. Oh.
I think that means it's level.
Well, it's levelish. That moves around so easy. There's only 2 bolts on each wheel and they're not tight, but now I've got to work out a shelf for it and storage. Oh yeah, but the bin. Stay there a second. Because I want this
Focus!
to catch. Oh, it's going to be about here. Oh yes, perfect.
Bin!
Absolutely perfect that.
Could somebody sit on that?
If you want to sit on it, you can.
I was only making a statement. Like, it's just,
We'll sit on it then.
I was only just.
You don't think my welding's strong enough? Solid that is.
You sit on it then.
I'll stand on it.
No, let me record it. Let me record it.
I'm sitting on it.
Stand on it then.
Well, the wheels aren't exactly...
You said you'd stand on it.
Yeah, but the wheels aren't exactly...
Just put one foot on it or something.
No, I'll put both feet on it.
Oh my god.
Head of the wheels. See? And I'm a fat git.
It's not very true, is it?
See, that's what I was afraid of.
Fair.
No locks on that.
Woohoo!
Right, what an absolute tit. Made a mistake. Can anyone spot it? I was putting the shelf on, so I turned it upside down and I welded it too high. So I've welded the shelf there when I really wanted it down there, just to give me a bit more height. It's still kind of okay, but I'm going to have to cut all that off now just to put it down there. And I'm kind of now just messing around with my system to hang all these from it, and I had a great idea. It doesn't, not particularly happy how it looks, but it works, and I'm just going to kind of go with it. I was experimenting with wire and stuff, and it just wasn't strong enough. It wasn't just going to kind of hold. So I had an idea of using the cogs, welding the cogs on, so you know it just looks a bit different, and it's going to work. And then I use one of the bolts out of the gearbox as well, again just to kind of use stuff within the gearbox. So essentially with this one, as you can see, it's just going to hang there. So it works. I was hoping it would look a little bit better, but once that's on, look, it still works, it's still practical. So I'm going to work out, I don't know how many I've got. I've got one over there, that's 2, so that's 2 more. Then I've got 3, 4, plus I'm going to make another one, so I've got 5. So I've got 5 I need to hang, well 4 anyway, because there's always going to be one on the machine. So yeah, just got to work out that, then cut that shelf off and move it down. Oh, what a tit. Right, so we have done a lot since I've had the camera on. I've sorted out the bottom shelf, so I've got that in the proper position. I've now started doing my storage for all my different attachments. I'll show you that now in a second. And I'm thinking about, I've also cut off that gear because I just didn't like it. I originally had planned to use Why have I forgot the name of that stuff? Of this steel. Oh, it'll come to me. Because I just prefer it to round bar because it's got a bit of shape to it. You know, there's some like nubbins on it. It doesn't look kind of as boring and as plain as just round bar. I still can't think of the name of it. Fucking hell. Anyway, and I had an idea of using that for storing me belts, but I'm a bit unsure. So I was going to make a long rod like that and put, you know, a couple of little hooks on the end, and essentially rebar is the word I was looking for, and essentially put it there like that, but it'd be sticking up quite a long way. So I don't know. I'm gonna maybe rethink my sand belt storage. But basically, for this stuff, so what we do is we grab this slots in there, and I've made this one to take both of these, so depending on which one is on at the time, I can take it off and put it on. So which is this one? So this one originally, so this one goes in and it hooks into there. No, it hooks into, which one is it? No, it's this way. So for this one, I hook it in that way, like that, right? Nice, see that? Oh, didn't do that before. There we go. So that sits into that one, but I think that's the one you use the most. So this one goes in that way, like that. Then this one goes in that way, like that. So I have three of them sat at the back. There's going to be one always in the machine, and then it's just I need to figure out a spot for two more, which could be quite difficult because I might have to lay one down in my shelf, because I've got room here but I don't have room both sides once this comes in. Oh, maybe do. Maybe, depends on the size. Maybe if I put the wheel, the smaller wheel that side would have been better. More room. Anyway, I'm going to leave this for today because I'm going to have a think about my sanding discs, because I just don't like, I don't know, I want maybe a, I don't know yet. Don't know, I'm still thinking. Right, we're done, more or less. So, all the bits are hanging off the back and they're all really easy just to essentially lift out. Say that, once I grab it. Lift out, put it down, really easy. I've put the other one at the front, but I've done it in such a way where once I take this one off to replace it with this one, that one will also fit on that one. So it's all done. Just got to do the bottom shelf, that's no big deal, and then just work out basically where I'm going to do with my sanding belts, and then put the control box there. And obviously paint it. But essentially, the actual unit is now all made. The camera really doesn't do it justice. You don't get the size of this thing. It is huge. The sander and everything, I mean, it is massive. So yeah, but I just like how I've got everything all in one piece. So when you move it around, you know, all your attachments, everything is in one area, and it's all, you know, it's all good.
We are going to sandblast in the Sahara Desert, as you can see. I've got my drift car over here. Look at the poor thing sat outside my V8 drift car. Look. Anyway, now we're going to sandblast, and using this thing here, and here it is outside in all its glory. Look, I'm going to sandblast this. Oh, it still moves. I'm going to sandblast this, and we're going to etch prime it, ready for painting, lad. Aye, lad. Right, it's all done. I missed one little section there, but I've got it all. So we're just going to etch prime it now, just to protect it, and then we can actually paint it. but so much quicker than trying to sand all that off, and all the little pits of rust that are in it. It's just so much easier. Sandblast the shit out of it. Sorted. Right, we are all undercoat. Well, not undercoat, it's just etch primed. So stop it from flash rusting. Undercoat's going to be next. But you kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Now it's all one colour, because before it was kind of rusty and had all sorts of stuff on. Now it's kind of all one colour. You just get a little bit better idea of what it's going to look like. Right, I just quickly rubbed it down with some red scotch, and we're now going to 2-pack primer it before we put the proper colour on. It's in the spray booth now, and yeah, good to go. Okay, just finished 2-pack undercoat on this bad boy, and now once it dries we're going to put all the colours in it and all the lights and everything else. Right, are you ready? I have painted it. Boom! We have painted it canary yellow. Now, maybe it doesn't show on camera, but this is fucking yellow, people. That's the welding cut I made, which was the colour of my van. And this is bright yellow. But what I got to do now is, we got to do all the little finishing touches. So we've got to put all the lights on it. We've got to paint all the letters. The wheels are not going to stay white because they just don't like it. We're going to paint the YouTube sign, which turns. We're going to put the backing plates on, which I've got over here. Now the only problem with them is they were supposed to be checker plate, but they're not. But I'll sort them out later, but we'll get them on anyway, so at least we can kind of finish this and then just get checker plate ones later. So now what I've got to do is I've got to paint all the extra little bits. Not going to film it because it's just literally me painting with a little paintbrush, but you'll see it afterwards. But there we go! It's yellow! It's bloody yellow! Or wowo! However you want to say it. Right, here we go. Now look at it. We've got all our back little pieces painted. Got the wheels on properly, all tightened up. All the little outriggers painted black. We've got the G painted black. We've got the YouTube logo painted red. I was going to say green then. Let me come over to here. And we got the B&L. I left the middles out just so you can kind of see it a little bit more. I was going to paint the gears black, but it all kind of molds in. You lose a lot of detail with the black, but I think it looks good against the yellow. Once I get the lights in behind there too, it's going to be a lot better. So, changing my mind about the bottom rack. Might not put the wood on it, don't know yet. Wood's definitely going on the top, but I might even paint that black as well. Even though it will soak in through the wood, but yeah, I think I'm just going to spray the wood black because I think that'll look kind of cool as well. Are you ready? It is now complete. 1, 2, 3, boom! Focus. Look at that. We have the spinning YouTube sign.
Yes.
We have everything done. As you can see, it is bloody awesome. Few things I'm not happy with: the lights, the LED lights I'll show you in a second, just the way they're routed. When I brought these, I saw some other ones which are easier to make 90-degree turns, and they cut the way that they're done are awesome. So, and there's tape down there to hide the LED lights, because I tried to drill in, but you can't drill in the side because the angle is just going to destroy it. So I'm going to do a completely different design, but you'll get the idea. I say I'm going to do it. If these lights continue to work, the chances are I never will do it, but just not particularly happy with them. So I'm going to show you what it looks like with everything turned off in a second. Are you ready, people? Boom! Focus. There we go. Now obviously we can put any colours we want. This is just a fade of colours, and again, in real life it looks a lot better than it does on camera. It's kind of a bit whited out, but you can see we get an awesome glow. Focus. Fucking camera, come on. £2 fucking camera is a piece of shit. And we got our spinning YouTube logo. Lights on! And you can still see the glow even when the lights are on. Yeah, well happy with that. Just got to put the old sander on now and all its little gubbins along the side. Okay, finally this is done. Well, I say it's done, actually it's not. I've still got to do a couple of things, but it's done. It's YouTube ready. I've still got to do all the LEDs properly and everything. But anyway, boom! Fucking camera, focus. I've still got to make a new kind of chute just to go up there, just so it angles all the pieces down there. It's not the end of the world, but I'm going to do it. I've got my piece of glass on in behind me sanding thing there. We've got all our extras hanging on, so it's just one unit now. That's what I wanted, just one unit. I want to put me little imp vise. Now if you're from Lincoln, you'll know what an imp is. This is a record imp, and I just need to cut out a little bit more there just to slide it in. It's a nice little vise and it's handy to have a little vise in there if I just quickly want to bend something and put it on there, do whatever it is I need to do. We've got our goggles, these DeWalt ones, DeWalt goggles. We've got a light. Let's turn it on. There we go! There it is! So we can now sand things properly, because like I said, I needed the sander to do that. I needed the sander to do all the other things I've been doing. And now I've finally got the sander working properly where I can wheel it around even. It just means that, yeah, I can, you know, it's just nicer to get nicer welds. If you want to dovetail something or chamfer something, you can quickly do it on the sander, and it means then, you know, you just get nicer welds and stuff, and it's just easier for knocking off burrs and all sorts of stuff, people. All sorts of stuff. Love me old school handle there. And yeah, you're going to be seeing more of this bad boy, but at least now it's done.
Right, really not sure how this happened, but I lost the video. I changed it slightly again. As you can see, I've painted absolutely everything. You can see on the first picture I had the little vise that I've put on and painted. I've got a coal scuttle which I've also put on. It's a lot higher up and it catches all the sparks a lot better, and it's not as in the way as the big silver bin. I'm going to use that for something else. Like I said, not sure what happened to the video, but basically I just didn't like the green on it. With the yellow and black, three colours, they just didn't go with each other, so I decided, I had paint left over, painted the whole machine as well, so there you go, boom. As always, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted.